Nice as they say they are. Well, wow, look at that. Okay, announcements. Leaderboard for week 8 and 9 just went up. We're gonna add a quick explanation of who got the badges and why. So that's outstanding. That's missing, but that'll be up today. In terms of other announcements, no other announcements from my side.
From my side, I think I just want to make sure that people by noon or like, I want the machine to be used such that this is kind of, everybody has no limitation when it comes to running a code and just inform me like if you have issues, and I'm willing to just go even at noon, just trying to go whatever we did also yesterday evening. So just make sure that, somewhere by 2 o'clock your time today, you at least know, and it's only technical capacity, which other of your colleagues can help you. So I really want to make sure that you are in, you know what you're doing, and it's just learning slowly, but nothing more. No technical ability to log in and stuff is kind of all solved. And I would really like that, and try your best to do that. Because once you sort that, the next, when you need it, it will be there, right? So it's kind of, let's kill it.
Yeah, just building on that, the schedules, I'm going to keep bothering people for schedules. One group posted their schedule because I think theirs is an example of what it can look like. It may sound annoying that we should have a schedule and maybe you don't have all the information, but if you don't have a schedule, how can you know if you're on track? So please put a schedule together. Please, you guys, most of you are team leads, project managers, please put it together. Yeah, let's go straight into the stand-up then. And while we're waiting for names, I'm kind of disappointed Yababel hasn't reacted to my chat message. The fact that he lives in a village.
I mean, Berlin is good. Okay, you can say whatever you want. It's fine.
Okay.
It's like it's okay. I like Berlin, so I'm on your side. I'm in a village called Munich.
Yeah, a bunch of Bavarian farmers. There's a question from Patrick.
Yeah. So I will hold it. So, but so just come prepared. I think one of the thing, for one or too many reasons, I don't know, just people are quiet when I'm having these sessions, and I don't know what to really infer. Maybe that's good for the tutorial, but that's really not good for what we are doing now. Like I know it. So showing you from my computer using it means nothing to me. It's like, I mean, why do I do that? I want your problem and your screen share and me fixing, kind of helping you to fix such that other people learn. So be active. Otherwise, it kind of, yeah, I do it, but I have no idea if you are there, if you have a problem, or if you have solved it. So it's really getting slightly, for me, like I don't know what to think. Like I don't know where people are. At least Ada yesterday said something. Okay, at least I know that she's running, right? So unless you give me feedback, I have no way of knowing which state you are. You could be like already done and running something, or you could be just struggling to log in. Please, just in that kind of session, I'm happy to hold from noon, 12 o'clock to the German time, Rwanda time. But just be prepared. Come prepared to solve your problem, not to learn something. Just come prepared to solve an issue that you have. Even if you don't know it, try to articulate, say something. Ilakura is a good example. He keeps asking. That's great. Hopefully that he managed to solve this. So I want that kind of interactive. Please do come prepared.
Can I ask a question, Yababel? So can you say a word on how we talk about job readiness? How is this access to AWS and cloud resources? How does that relate to what they would face, what our trainees would face when they get into industry?
So depends where they're working, and let's take it on an average company that has a data more than a terabyte. That's a very small company. Like if it's a data-led company, usually they have more than that, right? So then they cannot process. They have to have a system that works somewhere, like a form of cloud or high performance computing, which does necessarily equate to that you using a remote computer. So you can't put the data, and for a security reason, no one gives you the data. So almost every company who just cares about security and whatever, they don't give you the data into your local computer, which means necessarily that you are going to work either in the in-house computer, like which is kind of set somewhere and you have to SSH. And so I would say, like, if you're working outside, especially Africa, then that's like almost 100%. You're not going to use your computer. Your computer is just a medium to log in to the company to access. And that basically means exactly the cloud. I mean, like a cloud is an infrastructure, which is different, but it's just what we are doing right now is that it could be running anywhere. You have to SSH in, and then you have to be able to really know and work with that environment, which is usually a Linux environment. It's almost rarely, I would say even less than 0.1% of all the world would use Windows in the remote case. So the server that is that you log in is usually Linux. So you have to learn it anyway. So I would say it's a must, like you have to. And if you know it now, from day one, you get productive. And that's probably one of the things that you are most likely to get hired in a better company if you have that kind of skill. So I don't want to put it anywhere, but it's as essential as anything. But probably people will just not ask you for that. That's because they assume you will know. But then you got in and you're not productive, and then you get probably fired. So that's probably what I would expect the process be done. So right now, within the system that we have, if you can't use it for the next until Friday, I would will kick you. I mean, I would prefer to, if I were in a system in my group, I would really like to not take people in that framework. I mean, I want people to tell me, what is the problem. So and also given that your power issue, your internet connectivity, whatever is an issue, and this is the way to solve it. Like, because at least you don't have an excuse to say like, oh, I didn't have power, because you could have just submitted a job. So I don't want to lengthen it, but it's kind of it's like using a computer nowadays. It's like coding is the read and write for the 19th century, 20th century, and cloud is becoming computer for the 21st century. So
who's gonna make a statement on Nigeria's 60th anniversary of independence? Usman? Or someone else from Nigeria? Usman?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I really don't have anything to say. It's just a normal public holiday here, and everyone has just been discussing about are we really moving forward as a nation, or we are just still behind, and so on. It's just something political in social media space, and I'm not really into politics, so I just do my thing myself, and that's it. But I don't know if any other Nigerian want to say something about the independence today.
All right, Ilakura?
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, so basically, today is 68th day. It's kind of independence. And there's something I would just like to say. In 1914, Nigeria got amalgamated, like the North and the South were amalgamated together. And they had to wait till 1960 before they actually got their independence. So this is just like a motivation to every one of us. We should not really rush ourselves. Understand? Before Nigeria could actually get their independence, it took them some time. Like from 1914 to 1960, it took a lot of time. So I think little by little we can actually achieve our goal. And also to fellow Nigerians, it's also an opportunity for us to actually contribute to make our country better. In every area, at least we are learning data science, we are learning AI, we are learning machine learning. We should try to incorporate all these our learning to make Nigeria a better country. And I believe before Nigeria becomes 70, I believe Nigeria will be a great country. Thank you.
All right, Yavel, there's a question from Patrick on mathematical modeling.
I think I am happy to answer questions instead of tutorials. If like we can have a session, and I think we can all the tutors can just come in and we can just talk about it. So because I don't know in which context we will talk, but if that is what you are asking, we can talk about how do you model and what are the things. And I'm sure people, the tutors, will be able to answer some questions. I will be answered.
Can I propose that maybe the questions come in writing beforehand?
Sure, I think it's better to, yeah, exactly. Why do you want? I mean, even if it's vague, like, okay, I want to model this thing, and I don't know how to start, where to start. If you could just write it, that would be great, and then we can have discussion. I mean, it's a big mathematical modeling. It's like calculus. I mean, it's huge. So
I just, yeah, I was expecting. I love the analogies. I was curious where it would go.
No,
All right.
I mean, probably bigger than that. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so who's up first? Guys, I mean, so now we're into the real world. So this is now, it's not like task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. It's the real world. You guys have a challenge. You have groups, you have resources, you have some data, but maybe not as much as you would hope. You have real world limitations. So we want to hear how you're doing.
Okay, so there is nomination. Rofia, Nabil. Rofia. How's your group? So you can report also about your group, how you guys are doing, and how far are you?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hi. So I'm in Team Orion, and we actually just concluded our morning stand-up before joining this one. So we have our task for today set out. We have been able to gather some data, though not as much as we would like. And we are also struggling a little bit with actually grouping the data and also trying to figure out how we would go about the sentiment analysis, because we are kind of having some blockers with text block because it's not really like grouping the tweets into sentiment. Most of our tweets is saying it as neutral, though some have some negative comments in them, but we are trying to explore other forms of sentiment analysis, maybe use other methods to see if we get a better result.
So Rofia, if I ask, so did you classify by hand first? Did you try to see you could identify if it's negative, positive yourself?
Yeah, we did that. We actually tried using maybe some keywords, like maybe some negative words, to see, okay, this would be under like a negative sentiment, this should be under a positive sentiment. But when we used text block, everything was seen as neutral.
So what were you embedding? How did you embed the words?
I think I'm not actually I'm not actually the one doing that. I don't know if Abubakar is here, because he just gave us a brief of where he was this morning on that. I think Abubakar can give more details to that.
Yeah, so Abubakar, are you there? Could you say something?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. About the embeddings, we have not done anything like embedding the text. We have only applied the text block sentiment analysis on it, and according to what Rofia said, most of it has been neutral so far. Only a few has been classified as positive, and we noticed that tweets that has been classified as positive have some kind of positive words in terms of like great, good, stuff like that. That's what it had, and some negative words too, like not and stuff like that. So we have not actually done much of the modeling part. We are really trying to establish like a baseline text sentiment analysis. So we have not gone deep into it.
Great. So in your pre-processing, how did you do the pre-processing? Like, did you filter, tokenize, and remove some?
Yes, we did that. We removed all the anomalies, we removed all the stop words, and because we are using text block, then it has handled the tokenization and systematization for us. But we intend on going a little bit further today and trying to come up with our own feature-based sentiment analysis where we actually do the tokenization and implementation ourselves, so that we probably have bag of words and we can do the TF-IDF kind of stuff on it and have a better understanding of what it is doing.
Good. I think that's good. Yeah, doing TF-IDF and kind of doing the tokenization yourself and modeling it is better, and also understand what text blob does. And usually, exactly, it may just only look at some common words, but you want to go beyond that. So I think that's good. And the data that you fetch, you collected, how many did you collect? And so did you have like a very random look check to see it's something that you want?
Yes, we did that. We collected the data based on 3 countries: Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria. We have only worked on the Kenyan part, and then the tweets. We used keywords like, because we're working on food quantity, we use keywords like food insecurity, food surplus, food shortage, stuff like that. That was the kind of keywords we used, and we noticed that some of the tweets contains this word, because if they are not in the tweets, they will not script those, and that's everything.
Okay, great. I mean, would it be nice to randomly check, like, a few, distribute each of you 10, for example, and see like if it belongs, if the tweets, how much of the fraction of the tweets belong to the kind of class you want to, which is exactly the topic you are related. Just have that rough number.
The reason why we have not done much of that is because most of the tweet has been classified as neutral. So we figured out that probably because of the text block that we are using, that's why most of them has been classified as neutral. So we intend on going a little bit further today.
Good. Great. Okay. Thanks.
Yes.
Could we go to the next?
Hey guys, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, so we come up with a schedule, and so far we are on schedule. And right now we're working on Twitter mining, and actually it's harder than I thought. It's harder to come up with good keywords. Like it's harder to get a pattern. And we're working on the Twitter mining.
Okay, so did you manage to search? How did you search like the keywords? Like, did you have a strategy like to look at by hand at least, whatever?
Yeah. First we tried by hand. We just tried to search on Twitter with the keywords like food security, food demand, food supplies. But I think those keywords are broad, and the result will get also broad. So we do not want to rely on the results. We want to be specific. So yeah, that's the hard part.
Okay, so you are still kind of defining your keywords, finding the relevant data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Next.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
So for my group, we're having some trouble scrapping the old tweets. We've been able to scrap the most recent ones, but we can't really make progress without the old tweets. So we are taking up the new approach that you proposed yesterday of using the user timeline, because at least there's no limitation to only 1 week old tweets. And then after that, we plan to use pandas to get only the necessary tweets and then get into the sentiment analysis and other models.
Yeah, so one of my recommendation as also is like, because you are few, like, you're not one, it's good to divide while a few group are working on the data collection. It's also for the Nabil's, your group, just take something that you have, like even if a recent data, whatever, and let other groups start kind of working out like the model, how do they filter the tokenization, the thing. instead of sequentially, make it parallel, like assume that you are 5 core computers, more than that, right? So it's kind of work parallelly, don't work sequentially. It's good to reflect and catch up, but let the other group or the other members start preparing for the next round, and then the others for the next round. Because even if it's not going to be correct, it's better to do that. Are you doing that?
Okay, not for the analysis part, but for there's like report writing. The other members are continuing with that. Meanwhile, while I'm taking care of the data collection part, but we'll implement the analysis part too. So yeah.
Good. I think just do the tokenization with the existing data that you collect, even if it's a 7th day. Just there is a lot work to do on the data processing, data understanding, right? The exploratory part of it. So let the other members start doing and catch up regularly to discuss how things are going, because these are connected, they are not independent. So you may need some feedback from the people who are doing the EDA to give you something so that you can get probably more keywords to go and select and more users, whatever. So it's a connected process, so you need to regularly meet. But I think I would say chunk it and do it in parallel to save time.
Okay.
Great. So next, which group's next?
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll be speaking for Team Mickey Way. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on, Ilakura.
Okay. So where we are now is actually the data extraction. So we are following the advice that you gave us yesterday to tailor the search to a user. So I've been able to get particular user that have been tweeting about food, especially during the coronavirus. I got the user tweets, and I was able to get most what I need, like the username, there's the screen name, text, and also the description, like if the person is a government official or not. So I've been able to do that. And also another thing I did was to use hashtag. So like I combine COVID-19, Africa, and what again? And food insecurity, because we're working on food quality together in another function. And I use it to generate some data, and we have been able to get some data actually, because when we try to scrap old tweets, we're having issues. So we just work with your own tweets, with your own advice. And then today or tomorrow, we plan on working on the sentimental analysis. I think Rahel will be doing that. And then Binian will be doing the visualization, Janet too. So I think we're on track, right?
Yeah. So still, my thing is that because this is connected, the data collection process will not end in one go. It will just, you will download, you will collect, you will do some analysis, you will get feedback, you will go back, you will download. So because this is iterative process, I would say doing it in parallel is better. So try to do in parallel. Like so why, even if you have starting data, the other group members should treat that one as if this is a thing, and then start doing it and give feedback to the data collector group or person, and kind of get the feedback. So work on parallel. Then again, it's just a repeated advice.
And also thank you for the access to the AWS. Like it was really fast. Thank you very much.
No, we are welcome. Great. Okay. Next group, are we?
Okay, let me go.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Just in behalf of Team Alpha, so we had a meeting today morning. We created our schedule, just rewriting it as Aaron had suggested. We are also collecting data. I think we are using the same approach as others group. We're just getting the usernames and description, because the other one didn't prove to be useful, and with the limitation of the API.search. So yeah, we're also looking at collecting data for air quality, so that we can compare the tweets with the air quality, and then we have Claire and Segun and Natanan who are working on the reporting, while we're hoping to have collected some data and then go to the modeling phase by today evening. So we have timelines. So yeah, we're just working parallel also. So, yeah.
Great. I think, yeah, just as a general advice I have is that it's a connected process. Don't see it isolated, because yeah, whatever you do in the analysis guides on, tells you, gives you a feedback on what kind of data you need to collect as well. So it's important. Okay, Biniam, we have, or I mean, so what's next group or individual said? Which group is missing? Okay, so I think did we have already 6 reports from the 6 groups? Arun, then to you, sure.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing a group. No, has everyone gone? I thought that was about 5. I don't think we got 6. Guys,
Maybe.
Is there a group missing? If your group hasn't spoken yet, please write a message in the chat. I wasn't counting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure my group has spoken. I came a bit late into the meeting, but I can't find any of my teammates here.
Okay, then go on. Attendance.
So, yeah, so good morning, everyone. So yesterday, after they hear me, I don't know whether there's kind of a structure to what I have to say, but I'll just give a general report of what we were able to do yesterday. So yesterday, immediately after they hear me, we met and we decided on the keyword we'll be using, the delegated task, and then put it up on Trello and how we are going to go about it. So we also decided on the users we are going to use, like 15 to 20 of them, to expand the to start the analysis with them. We now expand based on their followers and all. So one of us got onto the coding part, while some of us were doing the reporting. We started writing it before, so that we can submit something tomorrow. So along the coding part, the team member dealing with the coding part faced the problem that he said he couldn't access the tweet by keyword for long. Like there's a restriction to the number of tweets he can access if he is using keyword. So we were left with the option of using username. So we decided that okay, we should use username, then filter the tweet based on the relevance they have to what we are testing. So earlier this morning, he told us he has been able to get, I think, 5,000 tweets. So for both before the COVID and both before the lockdown, both before and after lockdown. So we are hoping we would be able to filter the tweets today, then carry on with the analysis and hope to see a difference in users' tweets, so that I can put something up in the report. Something maybe conclusive, but we are not very confident it to be conclusive, because we were saying yesterday that the impact will be subtle. The impact will be subtle because of the fact that generally in Africa we have the problem of food quality. So how do we expect COVID to make something that is already bad worse? So, but then we are hopeful we'll be able to see something, and we are now pumped about it. So yeah, I think that's just about it from my end. Yeah. So thank you very much.
So I think one thing I would want to say is that take this thing as more data analysis. So you are a data scientist. So defer any judgment you have after the data. So take the way that you should approach it is not as a domain knowledge trying to do. It's more like your main task here is to find out if there's data on something, and then try to be around it. And then of course, if you don't have it, then you can have also that gives you an idea, but don't approach it from an angle of like, it's like data driven means you should in principle have only a hypothesis, and you want to prove that hypothesis, but and then collecting data and all that, but not have your own bias in it, because otherwise it gets you're kind of introducing, whenever you see a positive thing that supports yours, you're gonna go in that direction and stuff like that. So yeah, what does it mean, data scientist? Data scientist really is about finding data. It's just a detective work, and but detective on a hypothesis. So there is a hypothesis, and you are a detective trying to kind of collect data, analyze data, to kind of do the testing, the hypothesis testing on that one. So I would prefer that you guys approach it this way than in other ways. Just approach it from a data science principle.
I just want to add one point as well. One thing that I'm not seeing or I'm not hearing is this idea of all hands on deck. And I've tried to reflect on that as it relates to the schedules, but I'm still sensing that it's one or two people are right now active and everyone else is waiting for the results. Yababel mentioned this as well. It should be a parallel computer. Everyone has received the same training. Everyone really should be active right now. I mean, there's no reason why everyone can't be on the AWS machine. Everyone can't be looking for data. I recommended to some groups that they use the Twitter web interface to try and find active users or start thinking about different data sets. I mean, I'm the least data science qualified here, but you can get information without running a huge computer system. You can start just searching. No, I don't know. Yababel, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It is about detective work. It is whatever helps, whatever is available to you, you use it. And in particular, in finding these things, it's good to go and understand the issue, the problem, like with other means than hidden means. So it's going explicit means. So that means like the code is not that explicit, the wave is explicit. So while you are framing your thing, it's better to just go and, kind of identify your issue with whatever means necessary. So I think I would really strongly recommend going and finding parallelly doing these things than sitting and waiting. And I mean, that's really wasting resource, like human resource, computer resource. And I would prefer just aggressiveness. I don't see aggressiveness at the moment. And that basically means with this thing, you would just do analysis. You would get data, you would do analysis, you would be happy. But that is not research. That basically means project. Research is like you are trying to be the best that is available. It's like when you say I didn't, it just means like I have exhaustively searched it, and within my capacity, it is not, this is what I found. While a project is just you do something and you deliver that. But this is more, I thought, you approach it aggressively. I think some of you probably doing it aggressively, but we need aggressively as a group, every individual in that group. And spending so much time in reporting, that's great, but it's like reporting should be just parallel thing. Everyone has to report their own, what they are doing, instead of one people. And then later, definitely you need to, of course, give a sign, whatever, but it shouldn't be like reporting one thing and then everyone is doing for the whole week. One person probably you could allocate like that, but I would say everyone has to participate in the data fetching because this is hard. I would not know how to do it. So if I am in your group, I will be taking only one responsibility. But so I would really like the aggressiveness, not only individuals, but everyone in the group. And yeah, you should, in my expectation, you should have answered the keyword thing by now, and then reporting how many trials you did, like you did that, you tried this, you ran that, your machine breaks. I would have liked, or like you went to the tweet, I would have liked that kind of, I was expecting that kind of energy where you broke something, you stretched some boundaries, than just the usual way. So we need to change gear and be aggressive.
So what are we missing, guys? I mean, so Yababel and I are both surprised. What are we missing? Are our expectations unrealistic? Do you not have access to resources? Are the teams poorly formed? Is the question poorly stated? What are we missing? Can somebody help us? This is the first time we're doing it like this. We need to learn. What are we missing? Somebody?
Good morning, Arun.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So I think you're doing great. You're doing mostly great. But one thing I would like to point out is that we're just a fresh batch of data scientists. We don't have any experience. So, for example, it has been only 3 days since we were introduced to the challenge. So I don't think we can produce much result in 3 days. I mean, for example, me personally, I spent the whole of Monday trying to understand the challenge and catching up with what's required. Just watching the talk of Dr. Tolu, reading the challenge document again and again, and also checking out different papers. And Tuesday, I tried to form the group. We try to reach a common understanding about the project, and we try to deliver the interim submission. And yesterday, we tried to make some progress, but like one thing that's holding us back is we're new to everything. For example, I'm the team lead. I'm new to leading team. The challenge is sentimental analysis. We've never done sentiment analysis. We don't know which algorithms produce the best result. We don't know what kind of data does a good job. So I think lack of experience. I mean, the exposure is great. So if I was to do this challenge all over again, for example, let's say after 2 or 3 days, I would do as you expect me to do. But for now, it's really challenging. I mean, we're here in front of our laptops 12 hours a day, but like not only you, but we ourselves are getting disappointed, I guess, because we're new to this. We're just learning, and when you're learning, it's really obvious that you don't really produce the best result. So I think that's one problem. Everything with you guys is great. Just you have to consider that we're new to this, and you should just lower your expectations. But when I say this, I'm not saying we should all relax, or I'm not saying we should put less effort into our work. I know we're not going to do that. We're working as hard as possible. Like, this is not like the other challenges we've been doing for the last 10 weeks. This is different. This is exciting. But like, since we're new to everything, so like, you should give us some space.
No, I think it's a fair point. I want to say that we're not, at least I'm not disappointed. I'm just surprised to see that I think there's more waiting rather than jumping in and trying to learn and just experimenting and breaking stuff or just trying stuff out.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like, we don't know which approaches are. For example, I've learned a lot for the past 2 days, and now we're having less meetings according to your suggestion. We're working independently on our own. We're having more effective task breakdowns. So these things we are learning on the job. As you said, we're building the bus as we're driving it.
Yeah.
This is your reference. So we don't know which areas we should focus. We're just learning that right now. So the learning curve is pretty steep here. So that's what I'm saying.
Stephanie but yeah.
I just wanted to say that it's an iterative process for every group. Like, what we had planned, like yesterday, we thought we'd have like data by today. We had some blockers, so we didn't have the data. So we have to like reschedule our timelines. So it's an iterative process for all of us. We don't have like this step and this step, like for the previous projects where we had task one, do this. Now we're just trying to figure out everything step by step. We have to get the hashtags, we have to get the geocodes, and then you realize that that there's this limitation, so you have to go back to the drawing board. So it's an iterative process. So yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah. So I think one thing I would say is that I mentioned also to a few, the time scale you are iterating is key. And the time scale, it shouldn't be days. If it's a day, you're not going to arrive where you want to be. It should be time, like an hour, you know, and then maximum half a day, right? In a way, the time scale of something to try. And for me, for example, one of the things I would say is that why we set up the AWS machine is that so that you can try many things at the same time. And you basically just break it. Like you go, a few of you probably assigned, just go and download as much. How much can you download? How much is, you know, whatever. It's like, these are all questions that are boundaries, like knowing kind of, you know, the contours of your boundary, finding which are the kind of the things. And in the process, and then there are some that are breaking it, and then some exactly doing research. Research is like literature review is something like paper. And then someone could come and then share that one. Someone could come share the other part that, okay, like we can't really exceed this type of computation. Or someone could come and say like, okay, you know, that like this is challenging, but here is a data to try out. And another one demanding like, okay, I need a data to give for you to give me to start processing this, and start demanding. Definitely you are new, but that's why we are here, we are asking, because right now if we ask, you know what is going to be later. But reduce the time scale. The time scale is not at the moment. What I see is that you are slightly thinking this as more as if like this is a couple of months project, and this is a couple of weeks, I mean 2 weeks project, and which means the amount of kind of learning and feedback you need is in our level. Like just you need to get feedback to each other and test something within a couple of hours.
I wanted to make 2 points as well on the topic of perfection. So one is, I don't think the client is looking for a perfect answer. It's not realistic within 2 weeks to get a perfect answer. I think Emmanuel said the question that we're looking for treasure. There's many different definitions of treasure. I think she's just looking for something which can be proven, and she's pretty open to what that something is. So there isn't this expectation of doing perfect analysis and finding the one answer. It's finding an answer which is justified by data and which answers the very broad question, I think, the impact of COVID on air quality or food quantity. The second is, in the real world, and this is one of the reasons why I shared this Michael Jordan video, in the real world, when we, in the ideal world, we have the morning stand-ups and we have 35 learners here with the entire team. In the real world, we don't have everyone here. In the real world, not all of your team is going to be able to contribute equally. It's up to each group how you want to handle it, but if it was my group, if somebody is not contributing, I'm going to take over his or her work because I want to get my stuff done. So I don't think you need to, everyone knows each other. We know what people's strengths and weaknesses are, as well as their interests. Each group needs to find a way ahead, but I would, with greatest politeness and collegiality, if somebody is blocking the team from moving ahead, you need to find a way for the team to move ahead. Don't let a colleague who is supposed to be getting their stuff done, and for whatever reason, electricity is out, they're busy doing other work, or they're just maybe not as hungry to get stuff done as you are, you should feel free to jump in and get their stuff done too. And I think this is something that you will face this is my opinion. I don't know what you think, Isabel. But
I mean, I think that's absolutely, I'm with you. I mean, that's what makes a group perform better. It's like, it is about, it's not about judgment. It's about, some people definitely at some point will have a serious issue and they may not do it, and they would be happy for you just to jump in and do it. And then they probably should do the same next time. So, I mean, I would say the whole point, that the thing is that you have agreed to take something and it has to be done. And it has to be done in a way that is, that every individual kind of contributes the best they can without breaking their, But it's a boundary. You have to test your boundary. There isn't the usual. It's like, I think you cannot, with the previous way of effort, you can only do the previous thing. So to do something new, you have to put a different approach to it. And that means testing many things. And I think one really lesson in my life I have is that resource makes you, as soon as you have resource early on, perfect using the resource. And then, because then it pays off later. It definitely takes a little bit more time to learn it, but just it pays off later, because now you are testing, you know what you have, you know your tools, how, you know, like it's about cutting a tree. In that case would be like, okay, you know, you know how much it will take you for your soul to kind of do it, and maybe you just can perfect it and kind of that, and then you know exactly, you can optimize. So I would say it's use the resource. In this case, your resource are people around you. That means you are in a group and you have computing and you have your own problems, which is internet is not reliable, your computer may not be reliable, and power may not be reliable. So find a way to balance that. As it's just a reality. So you have to, that cannot be anymore an excuse. So I think there shouldn't be any excuse at the moment, even if I know that is tough to say, you know, but that is in real world, nobody cares about your excuse. It's like, if you give me 2 excuses in my group, like, okay, you know, because of power cut, because of or internet was the thing, and I would say like, cool, I understand, I'm from there, I mean, I understand the situation, I've been there, but maybe you should find another way, or if not, then, you know, we can't work together, right? So it's kind of avoid excusing, like when especially this thing is you signed in, like to make it better. So I would say really use the resources you have. When one power is down in one corner of the country, like, or in Nigeria, in Ethiopia, maybe the power is still there, so you can take it, but move faster. I think there's we need to move faster. That's only the one thing I know. The one we have now, I don't think we will get to a point we want it to be. So we need to move faster, and let's find out, like in the next couple of hours, let's find out how to do that.
All right, sounds like we're scolding you. I hope that that's not the approach. Take it as a motivation. We believe that you guys can do it. We've provided the resources, both human and computational. So yeah, it's over to you guys. We're there to support. I have to drop off.
Yep.
Bye.
Great. So yeah, I think you know, one thing you really have to know is just this is the scale. We are not going to reduce the expectation because we know that you can do it, and also it's like we are here. So the approach we have taken is that we take this assignment from a client, we manage the project, you do the project, and we see your feedback. That's why we need feedback continuously from you, and then we get like, okay, no, we need to change, we need to move. That's the approach. So even if you don't have experience, we have experience, and it's just we can work together. It's like we know when it's going to work, and at least we have a feeling when something is going to work and when something is not going to work. So that's what we are doing. So take it more as like what is needed, like from ourselves, from our side, we see it and we know that this won't complete the project and the quality that we want. So we need to arrive to that quality. We need to change a gear. And if you don't understand, we can have as much talks as possible, arrange and call and kind of thing. But let's change and find this tune, which is like, are we efficiently using the human and computational resource we have? So anything anyone wants to say, the floor is open.
Yeah, please. When are we rescheduling the AWS session?
So at 12. So because I thought now there is, so is there no AMA now? Prosper is.
AMA is supposed to be around 9:30. At least 9:30 watts from here.
Yeah, hello. Sorry.
Hello, yeah. What is when is the AMA?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we have AMA. Emmanuel is on AMA.
Okay. Sorry to take your time then. Like, let's do it. And then at 12, just we'll do the session.
The 12 what? 12 what? Is it
So right
German
now,
time?
it's 24. So it's kind of in the next, after 36 minutes or when the AMA finished, if the AMA finished late, so I will join at 12 again, which means in 30 minutes or in 36 minutes I'll join again. And then when the AMA finished, then I can start. If AMA already finished, then we can start by 12, which German time. I'm talking in German time, which is in 36 minutes. Yeah, so we'll do that.
All right.
Great.
Thanks.
Awesome. Cheers. Bye. Okay, so to you, Prosper. Sorry for taking the time, but it was essential.
No problem. Yeah, sorry for getting all late. Manuel, are you ready? Emmanuel, can you hear me?
hear you. I'm ready, sir.
Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, his network is acting up. While we wait. Okay. All right. Welcome to the AMA, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Prosper.
All right, guys. So, Emmanuel, let's get started. Who is Emmanuel?
Okay. Emmanuel is a Nigerian. He was born in Lagos. He's from Lagos. He started learning about data science January this year. And Emmanuel is a kind of person that likes to, someone that likes to help people. He's just someone that likes communicating with and likes to solve problems. That's just Emmanuel is. So that's it.
Okay, so what really makes you happy? That's my next question before we get into the chat box.
What makes you happy? Is that how you are?
Yeah. Yes, what makes you happy?
I think progress. Progress is what makes me happy. Making progress. That's really what's really important to me. Making progress.
Okay.
If I'm stuck,
let's go into the chat box. Okay. All right. So, guys, keep the questions coming. We just started. Keep the questions coming. Okay. So, what are some three values that you value? Some three values that you value.
What are some? Hello, Prosper.
Three values. What values do you
that direct me? Oh, okay.
Yes, hear me.
I have you. Honesty is really important for me. Like, I try my best to be honest at all times. That's something that's really important to me. And like courage too, also courage. Even when you think it might not work very well, just the courage to just try. That's also one value that I don't like missing opportunity because I was not courageous enough to go after them. So that's one of these things I go after. That's my value. That's what I.
Okay, great. So now let's go into the chat box and start with the questions.
Okay, Stephanie is asking, why sad face? I think it's mostly because of this project. They are not. It's not going as I planned. So, and there are power problems again here. So that's really why my face is not. I'm not really happy at this time, frankly. So Lagos, Abuja, Lagos. I'm for Lagos. So what's your favorite food? I don't think I have any favorite food. So just jollof rice. Well, I go for jollof rice. So how old am I? I'm 23 years old. And I was 23 this year, February 23. So where did you finish from? I finished from River State University. I studied marine engineering in River State University. So why did I transition to data science? I think it's mostly because of progress. I made progress very quickly with data science when I started. It was out of not having anything to do. And I said, let me try this data science I've been saying I'll try. So I just tried it and I was learning, like, when I started learning Python, it was so interesting and I stuck with it. That's just what happened. I stopped. I got stuck with it. So you asked him, do I still have passion for marine engineering? I don't have passion for Nigerian marine engineering.
Hello. Is it just me or did it froze?
I think it froze. I mean, he left. Probably Manuel left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it froze, and I think he's left network. I hope he gets back. Okay, so you can keep dropping your questions. I am looking to um, rightly question. Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prosper.
Okay, great. Let's wait for a while for Emmanuel to join in. While still ask me 2 or 3 questions today. I don't know when I hope, but whilst making time for Emmanuel, you can ask me 2 or 3. Just hope he joins so we can quickly continue. If you're ready, you can unmute. Okay, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear. Yes, I can hear everyone. Yes, I'm very sorry for the.
Alright. Okay, let's get back to it. I don't know if you see the question since you dropped off.
No, I did not. Please, I'm very sorry for the trouble.
Okay, so I would have to read a manual or something if it's okay, great.
Okay. Okay, now with I was talking about my passion for marine engineering before I left. I was saying
Yeah, okay.
I don't like the way it is done in Nigeria. There's no practical, and I did not get any really pick any interest with it because I really wanted to know how it's going exactly, but I was not able to get that experience. So, but I still have passion for it in some ways. So, Yababel question: Emmanuel is 5 years at Job X with Y personal family Z legacy. What is X and okay? What are the X, Y, and Z that will make you happy? I think it's family state and this legacy. I don't know how to define legacy, but
Hello guys, Emmanuel, can you hear me? Biniam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Prosper. I think he's having some connectivity issues.
Okay, Emmanuel keeps dropping. Yeah. Well, let's see. I think we can do something about it. Let's wait for the next.
I'm very,
few
very
minutes.
sorry for this. Like, it's really
When he
frustrating
comes
for
and
me.
set up questions we have,
Well, I think
I don't know. Emmanuel?
I think he should switch off his video. Probably just use audio so he compresses. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm very
Emmanuel.
sorry, please. I'm very, very sorry for everything, please.
Papa, calm down. This one way they sweat like Christmas goats.
Patrick, you see me now. Okay. But I've changed the network. I've actually changed the network. I'm no longer using this network.
No. Let's go ahead. Let's use the audio.
It's okay now. It's okay now. It's perfect. It's perfect now. There's no problem. There's no problem now. So please, let's continue. Person, I don't know. Please, can you share the question again?
Guy, you know if you take girl, this one will just frown your face. And they yarn you better thing.
Okay, so
This is because of it, not because of this meeting. Please, let's understand what's going on here, please. It's a Nigerian problem. It's not. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's the ET. It's the ET that's the problem.
Baba, calm down. Calm down.
Yes. So it's the last question, Burna Boy versus Davido. I'll choose Burna Boy. Burna Boy is. I think Burna Boy is making sense. Wait, who is Arts? Who is Arts here? Arts voice or Adi's voice? Adi is my man. Adi. Adi is Nigerian now. Is Adi? Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm not seeing any other questions. I've answered all the questions here. The last question I was answering that I said, I just want to remember for the kindness of, like, it's for people, not necessarily.
Guys, keep the questions coming. Maybe, I don't know.
Add this voice, add this, my man. Recommend a book you read recently. Okay. Which book? I'll recommend Black Swan. That's one of the books I read recently and it was really interesting. What's your philosophy? I think it's to contribute. Philosophy about life is it's important to contribute to life, like make life better. That's just what I think is most important for everyone to do. What's your secret talent that no one knows about? I don't think I have any secret talent. I don't have any secret talent. No. And your worst moment? My worst moment. Wait, I don't understand this question. What are you talking about? Worst moment? When?
This is your worst moment. You don't need to answer. We know your worst moment already.
Now can be classified as something. Why do you cheat? Jesus Christ. Adi, where is this one coming from now? Adi, please, I don't understand your question. Please. Thank you. Baba, I did not see your book. No, I've not traveled out of Nigeria before. I've always been Nigerian. Which movie have you seen recently or what are you watching? Okay. Movie I've seen recently on Netflix is I watched a Nigerian movie, Coming from Insanity. That's the recent movie I watched. It was really interesting. I'll recommend it as if you know how much I watched recently. I've ever done or seen before. What have I done? Okay. Please. What's crazy is I can't remember that now. Do you believe in God? Yes, I perfectly believe in God. What's your learning pace? Like I learn things a little bit fast, but I also forget things very quickly. But I like practical. Like I love practical things. So, what motivates you to help? Like I've been on help, so that's the reason why I like helping people because I know how it feels like you get help from others. I just the idea. You have tradition in your family. No, I don't think we have tradition. We are not special traditions. We are all Christians here in my family. So I'm asking for someone. What's your relationship status? I'm single. That's my relationship status. I'm not married yet. I'm not married yet. So What's your day-to-day activity like? My day-to-day activity is spent mostly trying to. I I sleep. I sleep around. I wake up around morning. Then immediately, the first thing I do is check my phone. Try to I have a Bible app, so I try to just read the verse of the day and all those what the talk. They always have the talk, so I read that, and after that, I just go to my laptop and try to work on the challenge currently that I have, and I'm mostly with my laptop. That is my day-to-day activity. I'm in front of my laptop trying to just work on challenge, to solve challenge, trying to check what's happening on Twitter and stuff. That's just how my day-to-day. I go back to sleep. So, what do you think you can change in Nigeria? Okay. What I think I can change in Nigeria is I want to change the educational system in some ways. I want people to be aware of the opportunities available for them, because most Nigerian secondary students do not even know about the career paths that are available for them. They are just they just know about doctor, lawyer, engineer. They don't really clearly know who is who and what's happening. That's what I want to change in secondary school. So, what's the first thing you bought with your own money? Hey, mom, I bought a phone. I also bought a phone, 7,000, 6,000. I don't remember clearly. Yes. My own money. I don't understand what you mean by my own money. Like, like saved money. I can say money I saved when I bought a phone. Exactly. So, do you have plans to become a politician in Nigeria? No, no, no. I don't have plans to become. How much is airbrush in your area? Add this, okay, please. Thank you. It's very expensive actually at this time because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's also one of the reasons I cannot afford it now. So, what was your best moment in high school? In high school, well, I can't remember vividly now. When was my best moment in high school? I can't remember vividly. Hey, Adi, and the worst moment in high school. Hey, worst moment. Okay, worst moment is one of the time my grade was actually not given to me. That the woman made some miscalculations in the mathematics grade. So that was one of the times I had problem. I was like, what's the meaning of all this? That's one of my most moments in school. Have you ever been in an interview? Okay. I've been in an interview. It was also a video call. I was really panicking that day. But the woman was really kind. The reason why I was not able to continue the interviews was I have not gone to my NYC. That's why I was not able to continue with that. So So they said that was the requirement for the job I was applying for at that time. So what was your favorite? What's your favorite video and board game? So board game, I'll say I like playing Monopoly. Monopoly is one of my favorite games because it's about money, calculating money and stuff. I love board games. I love them. I don't play video games like that. I think that I usually get very addicted to them and I just have to delete them. I just have. But I play football too. I love playing PS. Okay, how do you handle being nervous? Gosh, I don't know. I've not learned how to handle being nervous, actually. Say you should breathe in and breathe out, but I've not. What don't you like about your course of study? I don't like it not being practical, being too much of theory. It's really what my problem is about the course of study. So, what was your first job? My first job was as a teacher when I graduated from secondary school. I was teaching primary school students. That was like your parents will say you should not just stay at home doing nothing. You should go and do something. So I got a job as a teacher, but I got admission really quickly, so I had to stop. So how much do you have in your account? My brother, my account is my account is really not happy with me at this time. So what advice would you give to I would give my junior self to really to focus on at what's at hand. Stop dreaming too far. That's just what I'm with my junior advisor. Focus and really take time to do what you have to do at that time. So what's your favorite way to spend day off? I think it's to go to the cinema, watch a movie, sometimes and eat out. That's like my how I'll spend the day off. What's one thing that can instantly make your day better? Maybe I don't know. Seeing a movie, a good movie may make my day better. And talking to a good friend, we laugh, chat, also make my day better too. Ah, what's the best joke you have ever had? Can't remember. I'm back. I'm very sorry for the like my video will not be on this time, okay? Probably connection issues. So thank you very much for posting the question. Okay. What I said I did not I was always career path. Maybe if I see an engineer, I'll say I love what this guy is doing. But I did not have very role models in very clearly defined career paths at that time when I was very young. So what's your favorite course of study? I love maths. Maths is one of my favorite course of study because it makes you think. That is what's really important. And you feel very happy when you are able to solve some problems I think are very hard. So I just what advice will you give to ah okay, the advice I'll give to a junior data scientist is I'm also a junior data scientist. I would say you should focus on the basics. Like that's really what's important for everybody. To try to learn as much as possible about what the basics like SQL, NumPy, pandas, all those things work very well. So so if you had only one sense, I would say sight. I want to see sight is what's really important to me. Who do you admire the most? In this world, there's a guy I admire the most, Ray Dalio. I think it's really honest and sharing his ideas very clearly with everybody is really something I love about him. Do you believe in life on other planets? I believe in heaven, but I don't know if there's life. I don't think I've not thought of that very well. That there's life on other planets. So if you could do anything besides what you are doing now, what would you do? Which beside what I'm doing, what do you mean by what I'm doing? Is it as data science or what exactly? If you could travel, when and where would you go? Oh, I think I don't know. I don't know how the future will be like clearly. But I think I want to know how the future is like and come back. That's just what I'll do. I'll go to the future and maybe come back. Like maybe like 20 years, see how everything's going on. Okay. Thank you, Patrick, for that. Um also, if you came back in your next life as an animal, what animal would you be? Ah, an animal. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe a lion. I like lions. Ah, Jesus. That's what. So, Glory or Rofia, Stephanie or Ada. Ah, this one. What? Adnan, I cannot answer these questions. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, please. What's the most unusual place you have fallen asleep? I think it's church mostly. It's not unusual, but I fall asleep in church a lot, so don't know. If you could do anything besides what you are doing now, in terms of career, oh, okay. Okay, I would love to be a manager. I would do something about like managing projects, my all those kind of stuff. I think I love those kind of things. Trying to monitor what's going on. When was the last time you engaged? I don't. Adi, you can see me now. I don't know how to fight. Ah, it's been it's been since secondary school, and nobody will fight me. I'm not that person. It's been since secondary school SS1. I remember SS1. So we were just playing, and this guy took it very seriously, and he said we'll go and fight. So the guy beat me up very seriously. So that was the last time I remember I fought. So if you could choose how you die, would you? If so, what would you choose? I want to just sleep and not. I think that would be the best one. Just sleep and not wake up. That is what I think it's. Yeah. The Nigerian Elvis. If you could tell anything about yourself, what do you do? If so, what and why? Change anything about myself. I think I need to persist. I'm not very persistent. When I really give up very quickly. So I would like to change that about myself. I would like to learn to be very persistent with stuff. So that's just what I would like to change about myself. Hey, what's something you want to do in the next year that I've never done before? I want to travel. If not this year, next year. Next year. Yeah, that's what I would want to do next year. So one more or not? Is that a question? Okay, I'm very sorry for taking time. Want me or not? I don't understand that question. Okay, where would I like to travel to? What are your best moments in playing academy? I think it's when I was working on that COVID-19 challenge. I think that was one of the best moments with Adi and the other guys. Like I really had to push myself and be able to come up with something. Like we talked and talked. It was really interesting, and that was one of my best moments in academy. So one more you want to do it or not? I don't. Yeah, now I would say yes. One more. There's no not that. USA or UK? I would say US. I want to see what US is about. USA. So who are your cliques? Are they cliques in Ten Academy? I don't understand that. But I think I have few very close friends. Are you a sports fan? Yes, I'm a sports fan, but I don't watch match too much. Chelsea is my favorite team. Who will you take out of your clique in Tenak? I don't have anybody to take out of my clique. I don't have a clique. I don't think I have a clique. One we want to do your Patrick. Patrick. I'll choose Patrick. Is my team's man. So let me look back at those questions. Ada or Stephanie, I will not take anybody among those two people. Then Glory or Rofia. Okay, maybe if you can exchange it, I don't know. Everybody is still my friend, but do you have any phobias? Well, Glory and Rofia, I think I'll take. Ish, God, I'm not taking anybody there. So, do you have any phobias? I don't know. This is one of my phobias. Yeah, think I panic too much in some ways. If you could meet any living person for dinner, I'll meet Redalio. Seriously, that's the guy I want to meet. I really want to understand how he does what's his process. He talks about like using machines to make decisions, like following through, like writing the script to your life. I want to really understand exactly what it does there. So that is why I would choose him. How would you spend $1 million? Ah, $1 million. I don't know how to invest. I'll learn how to invest. I'll really go after learning first. Then I'll try to invest after I learned about investment. So and also philanthropy too, if I can. Yeah. We're in time for this. Let's do it. Okay. So if you were a superhero, what would be your superpower and why? Superhero. Hey, if I were a superhero, hey, I'll be Superman. I'll be Superman. We can save everybody. It's always there for everyone. So I'll choose Superman. So what language do you know how to speak? I always speak Yoruba and English. That's the only two languages I can speak. Yoruba. So what don't you like about Patrick? Patrick is very quiet. That's the only thing I'll say I don't like about him. But it's normal. I think it's normal for someone like Patrick. So that's the only thing. Finish. So there are no more questions. Remember, why would you not vote for Lukra if he was to contest? Ha. Ilekura. Ilekura, I don't know. But Ilekura contest for senator. Hey, please, I'm very sorry, Prosper. Ah,
All right.
I don't know him. I don't know him very well.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I'll know. If I get to know him more, then I'll vote for him. Yes. But with what I know now,
Okay.
I think I'll vote for him. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Emmanuel, for giving us the opportunity to get to know you a bit more. Yeah, we understand the challenge with the internet, but it was a good one. We look forward to speaking with Ada tomorrow on the AMA and our weekend so well. So thank you guys. I will just stop the recording so you can make time for the next session.